The first night was about homosexuality, which is a hot topic for a bunch of Christians. You know,
Yeah, of
that's
course.
one of the biggest sins, right? And of course, the good old story of Sodom and Gomorrah.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah,
we've
heard
heard
that
all
1,000
about that.
times.
Yes. So we hear about how Lot has these strangers that come to his house seeking somewhere to stay for the night and a hot meal. And they're, secretly three angels, but he doesn't know that. So he lets him into his house. And then there's a mob of men coming and saying, hey, we want to have sex with these three men that just came into your house. And Lot says, no, you can't do that. That's not right. Here are my daughters.
Oh, I know. That kills me when I read that.
Yeah.
Literally.
Here are my daughters. And he sends his daughters out to be gang raped.
Mm-hmm.
And we listen to that story. And at the end, he said, the moral of that story is it is better to rape a woman than it is to be gay.
Wow.
And I was a 14-year-old girl in the midst of 14 to 17 to 18-year-old boys. And they were teaching this. If you feel like you might be a homosexual, it's better to just go rape a woman. That still haunts me. And I wish that would have been the moment that would have woken me up.
Yeah.
Let me first say that if this really happened in a church, I feel bad for her and everyone sitting under that pastor's teaching. That pastor does not represent God or Christianity. So I pray that she finds a loving, Bible-teaching church. Secondly, this is why it's so important to know how to study the Bible for yourself. Studying is a skill, and like any skill, it has to be taught. So here are 3 things to keep in mind when you study scripture or even when you're listening to someone teach it. First, remember the genre. The historical narrative of Sodom and Gomorrah falls under the patriarchal history in Genesis, which means it's descriptive. It's a historical narrative, not a lesson ranking one sin over another. All sin is offensive to God. So yes, we can draw lessons from history, but that's not the main point. Second, remember the context. Read the passage yourself and say, what did this mean to the original audience? What does it say about God? What does it say about man? What does it say to me? Because you can't apply the text correctly without first digging into the text. And finally, don't ignore scripture references. Your study Bible has notes and cross references that connect passages and explains the meaning further. The Bible is the most hyperlinked book in the world. Scripture interprets scripture. And when you're not sure about a conclusion or a teaching, use commentaries and trusted resources to dig deeper. At the end of the day, don't throw God or the Bible aside because of one person who misrepresents it in Christianity. Go directly to the source and find out the answers for yourself.